there's a lot of people that have found their loves or a really good best friend through the game. There's people that have met in game and then got married down the line. You see a lot of those stories in ESO. It really brings people together. And I'm especially thankful for the community that I've built, my Insanity Party Guild. I've always felt quite alone in games, you know, women in gaming. Sometimes you put the headset on, you get make a sandwich and all of those. But with ESO, from day one, it was welcome. Can we help you? Come here. Let's do this. Let's all dance in a city with our mementos and our mounts on day one, and just everybody being inclusive, and it was beautiful. I'm KayPOWXD, and I've been playing games for quite a while, since the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games. I actually grew up watching my dad play them. He did the whole trick of pretending I was playing, but really he was playing. And I got so emotional at the end. I cried when he finished Crash Bandicoot because I didn't know you could replay games.
Hi, my name's Cassie. I've been playing games since GoldenEye, which doesn't mean you should investigate how old that means I am. I've been streaming for about 5 years, and I've been in Elder Scrolls for about 3 years.
Hi, I'm Dawnwhisper. I'm a live streamer over on twitch.tv. I play lots of Elder Scrolls Online and RPGs and MMOs. I also happen to be an elf.
And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what led you all to Elder Scrolls Online?
So the Elder Scrolls for me was such a special game. It got me through some really dark times. Had a silly, goofy mental breakdown, and it got me through that, which I joke about it, but it's actually not a good time. But it's such a special game, and it taught me that I can be the warrior of my story. I can be the hero. I can make my choices. And when I heard that Elder Scrolls Online was coming out, I freaked out. I jumped so high, I hit my head on the ceiling, because I love MMOs. I was a long-time World of Warcraft player. So when I heard that I could play an MMO set in my now favorite universe, I was extremely happy to do that, which is why I queued up for 2 hours to play it before an event.
For me, like I said, I play a lot of games, but I wanted something that was fully immersive. And I started with just an hour and then 2. And then one of the people from Bethesda, Nika, came into my stream and was dancing in slow motion for about 5 minutes. And everyone was like, we're instantly in this game. And then it's been a part of my life since. It's not only just a game. I think it's more of the fact that we connect as a community. So most of the people that I know, I go to events with, that I talk to, are people that I've met from ESO. So I think it's more that it's our community. Yeah.
I got into Elder Scrolls Online in the same way that a lot of people get into MMOs, I think, because my friend said, hey, I'm playing this game, you have to play with me. So we all ended up buying it, a big group of us, and we went around and did all the world events in Tamriel together. And yeah, for me, it just carried on from there. It was one of the first games I ever streamed, and a lot of those friends still play today in my guild.
Awesome. I mean, you talk about joining in with a friend group there. I was just curious, because I think online gaming has a reputation for sometimes being a little bit hostile if you aren't like a white male gamer, to put it bluntly. Was that a concern for any of you going into Elder Scrolls Online, and how have you actually found it when you've been in there playing?
I think the Elder Scrolls Online is such a unique MMO community. Back in the start days of day one on the Xbox, we had a charitable crafting co-op guild. Hello to anyone that was in the guild. And we literally just made items for other players and never asked for anything in return. And there was multiple guilds that were doing this. Everyone was just so lovely and welcoming. And even today, we've got a guild called the Insanity Party Guild, and we'll help people out, give them gold to get them started, and just go round. If you see someone in zone chat saying, I need help with this boss, you'll have multiple people from that zone running to help. And I've not really experienced such a loving community in an MMO before. It's quite unique for that style of game, but it truly is such a ESO fam. That's the hashtag we use, because we're such a big family and everyone's so loving and wonderful. So no, I don't think it's ever been a concern for me how ESO could be hostile, because everyone's just been so lovely from day one.
I would say that it is a concern for me whenever I go into a game, because I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't necessarily know what the community is going to be like. But I would say equal opportunities in the way that if you're terrible, people will say, pull yourself up together. And it's not about who you are. It's just about having fun within gaming. And I would say the fact that everyone is just being a mess on the internet and it feels really unsafe sometimes, and that ESO is pushing you belong here makes me feel even safer. And I think that's why I've played it even more. I haven't really been playing anything else at the moment because I can't be bothered to be dealing with, like you said, toxicity. And so when I get into ESO, it just feels warmer. It feels like I don't need to worry about that. Going to an IRL community event and everyone, you not feeling like the other is key for me. So realistically, when I play ESO, I don't feel othered. I just feel like I'm in there playing and I'm letting down the team because I don't know how to fight properly.
I think when I started, I was really nervous because I was doing it live on stream in a game I was unfamiliar with. But straight away, people were in chat helping. There were people in game who would come up and like give me items and like dance with me and stuff. And I think from that point onwards, I've just realized how much of a mature community the game is, not in the sense of the age of the players, but in how they treat each other. It's just less kind of trolling and just, you know, making new players feel lesser and more just including them, getting them in. And I think the game, it really helps that the game itself has level scaling and the content scales difficulty wise, because anyone can join in with anything and just like hop into the adventure without having to worry about not being good enough.
Awesome, thank you. Very
Absolutely love that you said hop into the adventure and there comes the cat hopping.
I always feel like that was scripted. That was
I was like, I could do this.
Well done, Mog. You've done your job. Yes.
Oh, great name as well. Awesome. The cat has thrown me off. I've lost my place now. So yeah, I think I was going to ask how it compared with the experiences of other games, but I think we can sort of take from those answers that it is, from your perspective, more of a more welcoming, kind of a bit more. You have to worry less about things that you might have to worry about in other online spaces, which is really good to hear. And
yeah, can I just add to that?
Of course,
well?
yeah, please.
Yeah, I think it's really. I'm not going to use the word cult, but I have made sure that everyone I speak to, I'm like, have you played our game ESO? So I think it's easier to get more of my community into it. When I first started, I met like these babes would do everything and they help you within the game. But now I'm getting to share it with my community who had the same concerns as me. So whereas like I started off with like maybe one or two people, nearly everyone I know within my like back to GK or wherever is wanting to play the game, wanting to find out more, and the community's growing. So my solo questing is now like larger because people feel safer. They see me in the game and having fun and not having to deal with the things that you have to deal with in other games and want to play it more. And that's, I think, really important because then it makes it more accessible to others and having someone there. And I hate using the word representation because it gets flung around so incorrectly all the time. But seeing someone else there and knowing, oh, I don't have to deal with this and I can just game is really important for others. Yeah, so that was it.
No, that's awesome, Tia. And I guess actually, fantasy games as well. I think they have maybe a certain image, don't they? So I don't know if that's maybe another barrier to entry, just in the sense that people might not necessarily think of it as somewhere they want to spend time, but then, as you say, seeing you there kind of shows that it can be done. Yeah. Awesome. And I think other thing to the cat's back mention with ESO is it's quite famous for giving people a range of activities to do beyond the questing and stuff. Is that something that you guys have got into at all?
I'll let you go. In fact, I'll let Dawn go because Dawn's the one that told me, like, we were at an event, she was like, you can do this. And I was like, what? I've been there for 2 years, didn't even know you could do that. But yeah. Go ahead.
In ESO, we have all of the typical questing and story, and you can get into higher level trial content, which is like raiding and dungeons. But then there's also so much outside of that. There's a really in-depth crafting system. You can do basically archaeology in the game and dig up artifacts from ancient cultures. We've got the ability to really customize your abilities as well. Scribing just came out, which allows you to tinker with magic in ways that have never been possible before in Elder Scrolls. And also there's a massive roleplay community inside of Elder Scrolls Online. It's not something that I've done yet, but I do see them whenever I'm wandering around the world. I'll be in a tavern and they'll be role-playing their characters and having a really good time.
We've also got Tales of Tribute, which if you like expensive cardboard, we have that, but digital expensive cardboard, which is a card game which came out with High Isle, and that is incredibly fun. I see a lot of people playing Tales of Tribute around the world now, and the PvP system in the Elder Scrolls Online is quite unique. We have a massive area called Cyrodiil, which you might recognize from Oblivion, and it's a 3v3 map, and you have siege weapons, including battering rams and ballistas, and you can go attack keeps and attack each other, and the more keeps you have a chance of getting the Emperor. And I really love that, because most PvPs, it's just you go in an arena and you fight each other, or you go claim this. And we do have battlegrounds, so if you like just death matches, you can do that, or capture the flags, or chaos balls type things. We have all of those, but I really love Cyrodiil, and we have an event called White Straits Mayhem that happens every year that encourage people to go there. So you've got a mix of pro PvPers and newbies, and it's just complete, well, it's mayhem, and that's a lot of fun. But I love all the group content because I love the community I've built. So I do love the sort of the card games and the housing and all those little fun little bits, and I love doing those on my downtime. But I really love the group content with ESO fam and just going in and figuring it out. I never look up guides because I love the chaos, but I love that bit.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I think for me, I use Elder Scrolls Online in many ways, because there is a lot to do. The way that I play, I like questing. I like the satisfaction of ticking off things. So I'll go through one area and I'll tick it off, and it helped me learn the game better. And I've started doing a guide for all the people that I've recruited to the court of ESO. And I think it really helps me break down how big it is. And also you can play any way that you want. There's no actual wrong way to play it. You don't have to do one thing. And as someone that's new to it, I felt at first like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. And I just realized you can play how you like. So I like the quest. I like going through the story and then developing and knowing through the lore. That's key for me. And then when I play with friends, which I've been doing recently, it's just through going through trials. But I use ESO to gamify my life, because there's so much stuff that I have to do outside of gaming. I will use like a quest. I'll do a quest, and then I say I have to do an IRL thing in the house, and then I tick that off, and then I go back and do a quest, and that's how I get through my task list.
Oh, that's good. I might start using that myself.
It really works.
It's like a little like a reward, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah,
bit of game, then a chore. I like it. Yeah. Nice.
Can I just add a little extra? Sorry.
Of course, please do.
Speaking of the story and the lore, something I really, really cannot say I love enough about Elder Scrolls Online as someone with the brain is that everything is voice acted. Every single line, every NPC, you can go up to just some merchant and they'll have a voice line for you. Your voices are not voice acted because obviously you are the character and that's part of the immersion. I do voice act it on stream. I'll do my Khajiit voice, and everyone seems to enjoy that. But I love that it's all voice acted. You do not see that in MMOs because there's so many voices. And I'm like, how are you doing this? How are you getting all of these voice lines? You'll go up to a random NPC and think, oh, they're never going to have a voice line. And they do. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that makes ESO play so well as a single player game as well as a multiplayer online game, because everything's voiced. It's really, really immersive. And I know people who just play ESO as like a comfy solo game as well. There's so many different ways to play it.
Yeah.
Picking up from what you were just talking about, Cassie, and kind of how it can affect things in real life. Obviously, you had that great example there. And a word often here in relation to Elder Scrolls Online is community. And I just wondered, for all of you really, like what's been the biggest kind of boost? Can be like quite a small personal thing, or if it has kind of built your network of friends or anything like that outside the game, because it seems like that's a really key part of it.
Yeah. It's the fact that I play offline a lot. There's so much that you have to do that's open for streaming, and I stream ESO obviously in groups, but I get to play offline with people, and it's one of the things that I keep for myself. I like to have that, and to have that with my friends off stream and find a way to talk and connect, and I think that's real community. exactly. Yeah.
My partner, who I've been with for 8 years in October, actually bought the Elder Scrolls Online to play with me because they fancied me. They had a crush on me, and they wanted to get in my good books. And they knew that to do that, they had to buy the Elder Scrolls Online. And that story has happened quite a lot in the community. There's a lot of people that have found their loves or a really good best friend through the game. There's people that have met in game and then got married down the line. You see a lot of those stories in ESO. It really brings people together. And I'm especially thankful for the community that I've built, my Insanity Party Guild. I've always felt quite alone in games, you know, women in gaming. Sometimes you put the headset on, you make a sandwich and all of those. But with ESO, from day one, it was, welcome, can we help you? Come here, let's do this. Let's all dance in a city with our mementos and our mounts on day one, and just everybody being inclusive, and it was beautiful. And the community that I've built has really made me feel so less alone in the gaming community, and they're also wonderful. And I'm so proud that I found some really lovely people on this planet that give me faith in humanity, to be honest. So yeah, ESO's brought a lot of joy into my life in the real life as well as in the game.
I've met so many of my really good friends through ESO, including Cassie and Kay. And, you know, we've met up in real life and done things. And then there's community members who are also stream members, and we've had meetups and done stuff together. And yeah, I know for sure that my life wouldn't be the same if I hadn't have started Elder Scrolls Online all those years ago. So for me, it's always a game that's going to be very, very close to my heart, and the reason why I get to do so many cool things in gaming.
Awesome.
I cried so much at ESO 10. Sorry. Like ESO 10 was really one of those moments in Amsterdam where we just realized, whoa, how much has changed in our lives from ESO, and meeting people and having people come up to us going, oh my gosh, Kay, you're in the game. And I cried so much. Every time they played the music, I cried. It was ridiculous.
Can confirm I was stood next to her. She was sobbing.
Sounds like a pretty emotional thing, though. You know, like yeah, it's a big event, wasn't it? That was like
decade of ESO.
Wow.
Yep.
Is there anywhere you'd like to see the game go next? I was going to ask if there's anything you think they could do to make it more welcoming for new people, or anything they're not quite nailing yet. But it sounds like you all feel quite happy with that. But just in terms of like, yeah, what you'd like to see for the next 10 years, maybe.
I think they should put me in the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of us as NPCs.
I think you should. I think they should wake up and it's me, and they say, "You're right. Welcome to your game." That's it. That's what I would like to see. Thank you.
The campaign starts here.
Yeah.
Let's try and make it happen.
It starts in West London. I don't know how you ended up here.
Just Cassie going, you're finally awake. You're so lazy.
I think that's a dream of all of us, though, to see in the game someday. I'd love to see base game go free someday so that we can have even more people in ESO. I know there's some technical, you know, you've got more people being able to get it that are maybe looking to do bad things, but I know that there's ways that other games have done that and found ways to combat that. So I'd love base game to go free for everyone. And then I know that it's on sale a lot for like £4, but even that can be a lot for people that are going, oh, I don't know about this. They do free trials, but I always see so much hype when they do the free weekends, so I just love to see that as just free. And also let me wear my guild name without showing the ugly tabard. Thank you.
They're so good at delivering things that they know we'll like all of these zones to explore and really tapping into nostalgia with some of the previous chapters. But I would love to see them just do something completely wacky, like something none of us expected. And I have been saying it for a long time, but I would love to see a Sheagora themed expansion with a bard class. And I would be very, very excited for that. But who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, and
I would cry.
I was just going to add, they're doing so much with like the story and going. I'd love to see more in character creation that's a bit more inclusive with hair and skin. Yeah, that's the main thing that I'd say. But I already spoke to them. I was like, immediately, hi, these are the hairs I would like to see.
Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? With hair. I think, there's slow. But yeah, hopefully I'll get there one day. But awesome. Right, that is great. I probably really should draw a line under this. But it's been great talking to you all. You've all been so brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your
Have
time.
we convinced you to play Elder Scrolls Online yet?
I might have to give it a go now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're expecting to see you.
Yeah, I'll. Be gentle though, if you do see me.
Absolutely not.